If it's in Hampton Roads, it's on the Hampton Roads Show.
All right, welcome. Happy Tuesday. That great-looking audience is from the Up Center in Norfolk. Coming up a little later, we're going to find out how you can literally step up to help thousands of your friends and your neighbors.
And we hit the water today for this week's edition of Rec on the Road. I'll introduce you to a father and son who farm the Lynnhaven River for oysters. Not only are they providing consumers some of the best oysters in the world, but they're also making a big difference in the health of this vital waterway.
And our coupon consultant, Lori Clayton, is here today. She's going to talk about how a little bit of planning can go a long, long way when it comes to saving on those meals. I joke with some friends of mine when we see each other in the grocery store several times a week about, you know, like, can't believe we're back in the grocery store. And a lot of it does come down to the fact that we're just not planning those meals far enough in advance.
Maybe your kids are eating a lot of food.
That is probably true as well.
Can't keep them fed. They just always eat.
Yeah,
that's the way it is in my house.
It's like, you know, we're either stocked up in one area but not, you know, in others. I'm either like, whoa, there's no fruit left in the bowl, but, you know, the freezer's full of meat, or, you know, the other way around. Trying to find that balance. One thing that you may be shopping for, I guess, sometime in the future, if one Virginia Delegate has its way, when you go to the ABC store to pick up your
milk,
alcohol. There's a delegate in Alexandria who says, look, it's time for Virginia to study whether it would make sense for the state, financially, socially, to sell pot in state-regulated ABC stores.
Reason being?
Well, it could be very profitable, but also, you know, maybe some of the violence, I guess, and the problems that surround marijuana not being legal yet consumed anyway, they're hoping might go away in the state. They want to look at other states that have laws about medicinal marijuana. And this delegate, his name is David England, and again, he's from Alexandria. He's a Democrat out of Alexandria. He wants 8 members of the General Assembly to study the feasibility and the practicality of selling pot at the more than 330 ABC stores in Virginia.
Just for, like, recreational purpose, you can just go get it. Doesn't have to be.
I don't think it's. I'm not so sure he's pushing it for recreational purposes. It's medicinal, correct?
He says he cites states with medical marijuana laws and societal changes for the proposals. He suggests studying states with medicinal laws, but he didn't say that this would be limited to folks for medicinal purposes. Otherwise, you would see a proposal to study selling it in pharmacies.
Right, to have it.
Versus, you know, an ABC store where people go and get, you know.
Yeah, just random things like
that. So we're just kind of wondering, what do you think about that? Could you even kind of wrap your head around the fact that you could go in and shop for pot? Do you think it is purely a desire to raise more revenue for the state, or do you think that it could help, you know, some of the crimes and take the power out of criminals' hands?
That's a tight. I think it would generate money. I think money is definitely a big backer behind it, but at the same time, it's like, what would be next? You know, some stores or you might lose some of the clientele for going in there, having young kids have access to that. I don't know.
But who's bringing their young kids into the ABC store?
True. So, hey, you'd be surprised.
You don't have to answer that. I'm just, you know. I mean, it's not like a grocery store, you know.
Yeah, I would hope it would make it to the grocery stores. I don't know.
I don't think they've figured out exactly, you know, how far and where they can go with medicinal marijuana, because it is proven that it does help cancer and glaucoma patients.
Yeah.
And I think that in 1979, Virginia said that it was okay for doctors to not prescribe, but to say that it's okay for certain patients. I think it's like when they get to stage 4 cancer to have it, but at that point it's almost too late. As far as selling it in an ABC store, that could be kind of tricky.
That suggests to me that we're not just talking about medicinal cases, but talking about those folks who are always making the argument that it's no worse than being, than alcohol.
Like
if we're letting people buy alcohol and putting the onus on them to not be impaired when they're driving a car or taking care of children and things like that, then why couldn't we put the same personal responsibility on marijuana?
Virginia, the Denmark of America.
Maybe.
I don't know if that's going to happen.
I just have a feeling.
Seems like a pretty conservative
state.
If
they did the study, if they did the study, they would want the results by like the first day of the General Assembly session 2013. So nothing would be immediate, but we just want to know what you think about the fact that
I think it's okay to talk about. Yeah, talk, figure it out.
Should have talked about it for a long time, but it'll be interesting to see if it actually. That'll be a hot topic the day that it's put in the stores. Woo.
Yeah, I know a lot of people want to party with that delegate.
All right. We're
We're talking about medicinal marijuana and the effects it can have on pain. So here's another topic for you. Who feels more pain, men or women, and who reports it more? There's a study done in Stanford that polled over 170,000 patients, and they asked them with these very difficult diseases, how much of a pain tolerance do you have? And the findings are interesting. Is it women or men who report to feel more pain?
So we have the findings, but we're not going to give them to you right now because we just want to see what you'll say before Chris reveals what the findings of the study. But you said it's pretty specific. It was people who were. It's not just like a man and a woman both stubbed their toe. Who cries more?
It was 170,000 patients that had a specific disease, and they, I think they gave them the, rate on a scale of 1 to 10 your pain, and there was a clear finding that between men and women, one side felt, reported to feel more pain. I don't know if you've had extremely painful events in your life. I'm sure you have. How did you deal with it?
I
mean, there you go.
Legal drugs. Epidural was my friend. One of them. The other one, it was just too late. But I don't know. I would probably be inclined to say that men had a lower pain tolerance, and I only have the non-scientific study of the cold versus the man cold in my house. If you haven't seen that, go to YouTube and watch man cold, and you'll know what I'm talking about. But I know that's not what this study is.
Right, not complaining.
Saying,
it's
but
not
my gut reaction is, the boys.
I haven't had. I mean, the only major thing that's happened is I had surgery before, and after the surgery, it was on my feet. It was really painful. I tried to take it, but the fact that I couldn't take it anymore. But as far as like getting sick or something, I mean, not having like a disease or anything, but getting a
you'll have to remind us throughout the morning that that's not what we're talking about.
I know, it's not the sickness. So
like, being uncomfortable.
The surgery count, with the surgery, I don't know.
Yeah, it does. I've had a lot of painful events in my life because I deal with a bad knee, but one of the most painful things I've ever experienced was I was stung by a stingray. I was going surfing and I got stung, and what it did is injected poison into my body.
Oh my gosh.
And it got into my central nervous system, and it was pumped throughout my body, and for a couple hours I kept feeling these shocking pains.
Oh man.
And it was extremely painful, and I went to the doctor and they said, dude, you're out of luck. You're just gonna be in pain for a while. And like that was all they could do for me, and that was painful.
Oh man, it wasn't like the movies where it's like, get the anti-venom, and somebody runs in. And
No, there was nothing they could do for me, but I think I did learn. I know this is probably not the right thing, but I thought that if it ever happened again, I'd just start drinking immediately, just to try to help it out. But that's probably not the right thing to do.
Well, you're probably right about that.
I mean, it was painful, and I was screaming in pain, and so
screaming helps deal with pain.
That seemed like it helped at the time.
The surgery, but I had a shot of Demerol and. It was good.
You were out.
I was out, but then I had to come back.
Out.
I came back, and it hurt.
Thank you very much. Our producer said she just posted man cold on our Facebook page, so folks have a frame of reference as to what I'm talking about.
So when you're in pain, you may go to your friends and say, hey, my arm, or I don't feel good, or I'm in pain, and then you may just have that one friend that's like, well, I'm in pain too, and tries to take all the attention away from you. We're talking about toxic friendships. I'm pretty sure everyone has had a toxic friendship at some point in their life, but Self Magazine did this poll. It was really interesting. It said 59% of people say that they have a needy friend, 54% say that they have a self-absorbed, backstabbing friend, and 45% they have friends that actually take jabs at them. Like when you have that friend, you're like, hey girl, I got this new shirt, and you have that friend's like, it's okay. Like they just don't want to be happy for you. It's like, how many of you have held on? It's like people are laughing because they're like, yes. How many of you have held on to that friend a little bit longer than expected? High school, I had a couple of friends that, we always had like a Debbie Downer, or Negative Nancy, you would kind of call them, that we just kind of were like, she would always have something to say. That relationship is no longer. Right now, immediate, I have good friends. I'm surrounded by a good group of people. But Today Show did a poll, and 86% of people said, yes, they still have a toxic friend. Toxic friendship. So how do you let them go? Do you have a toxic friendship?
Do I have a toxic friendship?
Yeah.
No, I don't. Not really. I think I grew up with some people that there wasn't a friendship. It was more like a rivalry, and then throughout the years we became friends. So
that's interesting.
Yeah, it's a little different.
I would hope that a lot of those relationships are, you know, more an experience you have when you're younger and you don't know yourself very well yet, and you don't understand what real friendship means yet, you know, until you get older. But I also think it's just harder. Like, if it were somebody that you were dating and they weren't treating you well, hopefully, I mean, you would break up with them, but it's like with friends and family, there's no real way to kind of break up with them, or you kind of, you know.
Family, you can't really, I mean, some people just write their family off. Some people, I mean, how do you...
Toxic family?
Toxic family. Oh, that's a whole nother hot topic.
But I think if you're, you know, get to a certain point in your life and you still have a toxic friendship, I mean, that's a you problem that hopefully you can figure out, you know, why you're not using better, you know, boundaries. But it's a human thing. I mean, I think we've probably all been there at some point.
Interesting. The audience, the ladies are like, yes, I got that.
They're ready to yell out names. Teresa.
Name the name, boo-boo. Boo-boo.
I just pulled that name out of nowhere. I don't even have a Teresa in my life.
All right, let us
That's
know
my mom's name. No, I'm totally kidding. It's not.
Let us know what you think. Join the conversation on Facebook or Twitter at HR_show. So we got a couple of topics to talk about, and
ooh, some racy ones.
we're going to bring in our family, our favorite weatherman.
Our favorite.
No. The man who feels no pain.
Toxic.
He feels no pain.
You feel
Jeremy
no
Wheeler.
pain,
I feel
and you
pain.
have no.
I get brokenhearted all the time.
Aww. Poor Jeremy.
Broken heart.
It's true. Sort of.
Do you complain about pain?
Do I complain
Yeah, if
about
you had
pain?
a cold, would you be
Yeah.
whining?
I complain about pain. Yeah, I get, you know, headaches sometimes. You get, you know, neck aches from stress and stuff. Working out, you know, sometimes you get just a little too tight, so my neck tightens up. You know,
Just
I
in the
complain
gym
about
too
that.
much.
Yeah, Tan, in you know, the morning show, she's always over there in the traffic center with me, and she's always listening to my complaints. So just thankfully, you know, she.
A sounding board.
Yeah. She's a good friend. Not toxic.
Not
toxic. Anyway, let's see what we got going on for this morning for the weather for today. We got temperatures in the low 60s. Right now the temperatures pulled back a little bit, but we're going to start warming up here soon. And the rain is over with. I just had the rain there from earlier this morning, but it's definitely long gone. And we got some sunshine breaking out now. Wednesday, mostly sunny. Highs near 50, and then we warm it up Thursday, some more clouds. Thursday night, Friday, some rain, and then we cool it down and dry it out for the weekend. So Saturday and Sunday is you know, highs in the low to mid 50s. All right, so here's the pop quiz for the day, and this one I've got a connection to. So commonly 3 letters, the Marlins, place to learn more, and chartered in 1961. So put those clues together at thehamptonroadshow.com. Submit your answer, and bam, you get a prize.
Got it.
If you get
Really?
Yeah.
Hopefully.
All right.
Got it.
See, this isn't.
And it's local.
Local.
All right.
Highly, highly local.
All right.
Highly.
Highly work on it. If you're the winner, you're going to get a Glee prize pack today. And a quick programming note for you about Glee. Because of Sunday night's American Idol, it didn't start until almost 11 o'clock. So a lot of folks missed the episode. So Fox has decided to air an encore episode tonight at 8 o'clock on our sister station, Fox 43.
It's nice of them.
Yeah, that's
nice.
great. More Glee. All right.
Oh, man.
All right, here's a look at what's on WAVY TV tonight at 8 o'clock. It's a brand new Biggest Losers. Trainers Rob and Delegate try to get through to contestants that are just not putting in the effort. Then at 9, President Obama will deliver his State of the Union address live from the House chamber. Indiana Governor Mitch Daniels gives the Republican response immediately following the president's address, and then Herman Cain is going to give a Tea Party response too. And then stay with us for all your news and Super Doppler 10 forecast on WAVY News 10 at 11.
All right, the Oscar nomination buzz is over. Coming up, our executive producer Stephanie Cook joins us with her predictions on who will win in the big categories.
But first, our coupon consultant Lori Clayton is here with some great ideas on how to make the most out of your grocery budget. All right, her scissors are as sharp as her mind, and she's ready to help us all save on our grocery budget. Coupon consultant Lori Clayton is back once again, and I know a lot of it comes down to planning. We were talking about it at the top of the show.
It does.
I'm very good at the whole planning thing. But, you know, how does it save you money? Because some folks would say that if you plan a bunch of meals, you're just buying more food, and doesn't it cost the same?
Well,
doesn't it?
Well, it's going to depend. It's going to depend on, first of all, if you're a couponer and you've got that stockpile that I've talked about so many times before.
Yes.
If you're a couponer, shop from your stockpile first. If you're not, what I like to do, and sometimes, you know, there have been times in the past when I've not used coupons as effectively, believe it or not. I know.
Very hard time believing
Well,
that.
there are times when that, you know, that happens. Life happens.
Yeah.
Go by the sales. And so I would think it would be more efficient at least 1 week, maybe 2 weeks. Now, there are people who plan for a month in advance, but typically it's 1 to 2 weeks. Typically people will go by their pay periods. Why does it save you money? Well, when you have it planned out, you buy specifically what you need, and you're not running back to the store 3 and 4 times a week, and a $10 trip to pick up 2 items or 3 items turns into a 20-item trip, and it's $50, $60, $70 before you know, oh, we'll toss this in, oh, we'll toss that in. Whereas if you have a plan, you have a list. You stick to the list, and then the food's already in your house.
All right. And so, I know you've brought some places where we can get help if we're just terrible at planning that far. I mean, a month?
Yeah, there are
that
people,
person might be a robot.
Yeah.
I mean, let's throw that out. Let's talk like 2 weeks or something.
Okay. Well, there are places, and there's some free ones as well as some pay sites.
Okay.
One's called Monthly Meal Planner, and another one is easymealplanning.com. Okay. Those 2 places, they're free. They actually put up a month's calendar and kind of have some dinner ideas out there for you.
Oh man, they give you ideas too.
The recipes, the sides, everything. So you can actually go through.
Good.
Yeah, you can go through and actually look at, you know, what are these items that I like? And you don't have to use all 30 days of their plan, but 30 days are planned out on the calendar.
Right.
And you can actually, you know, pick and choose. We like this recipe. We like that recipe. Is this something that's good for our family? You know what your family likes.
Yeah.
And then there are a couple of pay sites. You've got emeals.com as well as Dine Without Wine. And what it is for kids, not without alcohol. It's Dine Without the Wine of your kids, because the meals are supposed to be more kid-friendly. And so they're both subscription sites. But one of the things that I like about eMeals is that you can choose the meal plan that's delivered to your inbox on a weekly basis, whether it's low carb, low fat, gluten-free. They actually have a meal plan for gluten-free. You can pick it by your grocery store. You can pick it by the size of your family, and then they send you a weekly meal plan, as well as it comes with the grocery list. So
what's the difference? How much do the pay sites cost?
$7 a month versus free, which I know that they're both $7 a month. But the thing that I like about it is you can tweak how you want it.
So you feel like it's kind of worth it?
Yeah.
$7 may be worth it if you have specific needs.
If you have specific needs, or I just don't want to think about that. Some people will say, I spend an hour, hour and a half a week planning meals, or thinking through it and going through the flyers and what's on sale and trying to determine, okay, did we eat that last week? Did we eat this week? This way it's automatic. You pull it down on Thursday, print it out, and you know what's coming for the next week. And so it already gives you the grocery list, and so it's already there. But my favorite, it's kind of a new site, and I have to tell you about it. It's called Food on the Table.
Okay.
They have free portions of their site as well as subscription portions of their site. But the thing that's really neat is you choose your habits of what you eat. There's even a vegetarian option. There's a vegan option if you want to do that. But the thing that's really neat is as you pick all of your meals that you throw in there, you pick the sides, you pick the dishes, it will tell you, you pick the local grocery stores, it will tell you if the items are on sale.
Oh.
Yeah, so it kind of takes out that, you know, the necessary need, you know, to sit down and go through all the flyers, to go through the papers. Is that something that you need to do? No, it already says, hey, these items are on sale at these grocery stores. So it can kind of help you narrow down your search.
I can see why you like that one.
Oh, yeah, it's great. And there are ways to share recipes on that, as well as, I mean, they're all different types, and you can plan not only dinner meals, but lunch meals and breakfast meals. You can just have it all done.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to put all of that information by just doing one thing, which is getting you to Lori's blog through the HamptonRoadshow.com, and then in Lori's blog this week, you'll see the links to all those little meal planning websites. Get out there, save some money, plan some meals, spice it up, right? Change it up. You can't eat the same thing all the time.
Speaking of spice, just kidding.
Yeah, this is a really spicy and kind of a hot topic. A Virginia lawmaker wants to study the possibility of selling marijuana through state-run liquor stores. Democratic Delegate David England of Alexandria has filed a joint resolution, get that joint resolution, to look at a potential revenue impact for such a proposal. Okay, so we're asking...
Joint resolution.
Yeah, I mean, should ABC stores in the state of Virginia be able to sell marijuana?
You know what? This one,
I can see a line a mile long outside there. And
I am just going to go to the comments on this one. This is funny. Marcella Banks, she says, sneaks in with hand raised and then backs out. So she secretly agrees with that.
Wait a second. Did she give her name?
Yeah, Marcella. No, she didn't say secretly. Yeah, Marcella Banks. James Lee says, absolutely. Joseph Paul Murray says, I've said it before and I will say it again. The legal drug producers, i.e. the alcohol and pharmaceutical industries, don't want the competition. Gail Sally, though, says, I think people abuse substances enough as it is. That's all that I can say.
Well, you know, it's a hot topic. I mean, you know, there's still
Definitely
a
we get
lot
people
unknown
talking.
about it.
Yeah.
And there are so
Whatever.
many people that use it, whether it's for recreational purposes or for helping you out get through cancer or glaucoma.
Which brings us to your pain threshold.
Yes, there was a study done at Stanford University that took over 170,000 patients that were had a disease, and they were asked how their pain was, men and women, and they found that one gender reports pain more. We're asking you, is
We're
it
not going to
male
tell
or
you.
female?
But
we're going to tell you real soon.
We're
but
talking
asking,
about like if you have like a disease or if you've had like a big ailment, not just talking about like
who feels more
that
pain,
hurt, you
men
know,
or
like she
women?
said, stub the toe.
Good for you.
Louisa says, theoretically, because women's bodies are designed to give birth, they are also designed to put up with more pain, but we will never really know because no one person can experience both. There are so many types of pain. Roxanne Ward says, I think women are more familiar with pain. Men just whine more. I would rather have several sick babies than one sick man.
I don't know about that.
Please. When you get sick, you're not like, oh, my throat hurts.
I don't get sick very much. I guess I'm
But when you do, aren't you really? And
Yeah.
what was the
Hey, when I
video
get
you
sick.
talked about, Carrie, that's posted? Man cold.
Man cold?
It's posted
All right.
on our Facebook page, so make sure you check that out.
We're
And the next one,
gonna prove this theory wrong. We're gonna prove it wrong real soon.
we'll talk about toxic friendships.
All right, still to come on this week's edition of Wreck on the Road, we will give you a little crash course on how oysters are raised in the Lynnhaven River and why this process is so vital to this delicate natural resource. All things oysters coming up.
And you can literally step up to help your friends and neighbors in crisis. After the break, we're going to get the details on this year's Step Up for the Epicenter Stair Climb Challenge. And of course, don't forget about our pop quiz. You could win a Glee prize pack. Just log on to thehamptonroadshow.com, click on that pop quiz button on the top right-hand corner of the screen.
All right, we're back on the Hampton Roadshow. It's time to meet our studio audience today. They're from the Up Center, and they're here to tell us about their third annual Step Up for the Up Center Challenge. Wendy Duran joins me now. She's the 2012 Step Up co-chair with more information. It's nice to see you again.
Good morning.
Good morning to you. Okay, so the first thing I think we need to talk about is the shoes. Can we see the shoes, ladies? They're all decorated. Tell me the symbolism of the shoes you brought today.
The shoes are a new thing we've added to the stair climb. It's called Step Up with Style. It's for people who may not necessarily want to step up, but you can do both.
Okay.
And we're having a contest. It's similar to the Bra-Ha-Ha.
Yes.
And our goal is for people to decorate a shoe. It can be, we were asking for athletic shoes, and we'd like to tie in the theme of some agency of the Up Center. So we want to encourage people to go to the Up Center website and kind of check them out and tie that in. Not necessarily, but it doesn't have to be heavy duty. But we
right.
have several here that do that.
I hear the message, Wendy. The judges may give special consideration to folks who, you know, tie in with the
It's not
Up
all
Center
about the
organization.
bling.
Okay. All right. It's the message and the mission. If somebody is up for a physical challenge, though, and they want to climb those stairs, tell me
Yes.
a little bit about how that works.
If you would like to actually climb, we have many, many ways that you can do that. You can be 8 and up to do it, and we have had people, I believe, in their 60s and 70s doing it. Stair climbing does not take a long time to do, even on a daily basis, but at our competition as well. You can do non-competitive or competitive, and you can climb 25, 50, or 100 flights.
Okay.
And you do come down on the elevator. You do not have to come down on the stairs. You only go up. You
Okay.
do not come down. That's a very important thing.
That is a very important thing. So Dominion Tower, are they hosting again?
Dominion
One
Tower.
of the tallest buildings in the area.
One of the tallest buildings in the area, Dominion Tower, March 25th from 9 to 1.
Okay.
And one thing that if you do sign up early, we have 3 opportunities for you to actually test out the stairs at Dominion Tower. Our first one is, we're calling them warm-ups. We're going to have trainers from the YMC blocker there to give you tips on stair climbing. And then you have a couple hours to go up and down as many times as you'd like. And that's going to be, the first one's going to be January 29th, which is this coming Sunday from 1 to 3.
All right. We're going to put the rest of the information about the other warm-up periods so you can find out if you want to take them 2 or 3 at a time when you go support the Up Center in the Step Up Challenge. And here's more information for you. Mark your calendar for the 25th, from March 25th, from 9 in the morning until 1. Dominion Tower, Norfolk is the place. You can register at theupcenter.org or call 622-7017, and you can also find out more information about decorating a shoe for the Up Center as well if you're not able, for whatever reason, to get into your shoes and climb those stairs. Congratulations on your 3rd year. Thanks very much for coming.
Cool shoes.
Very nice.
All right, still ahead on the Hampton Roadshow, the folks from the Plastic Surgery Center of Hampton Roads talk about new surgical ways to put your best face forward.
And then our executive producer, Stephanie Cook, joins us with her take on the Oscar nominations.
All right, it's Tuesday. That means it's time for another road trip with the Rec.
That's right, Carrie. On this week's edition of Rec on the Road, we actually hit the water and meet a father and son who are making a difference on cleaning up the Lynnhaven River through oyster farming. Life in the Lynnhaven River begins beneath the Lesner Bridge. Millions of gallons of water enter and leave the river daily. Keeping it all clean? Oysters. Mark Sanford and his son Shannon farm the Lynnhaven River. The father and son team work 85 acres. Beneath the shallow water are millions of young water-cleansing oysters. Sanford is a third-generation waterman. His great-grandfather worked these same waters when the Lynnhaven oyster was famous worldwide.
The Lynnhaven oyster basically is a higher salinity oyster that is known for the size. They've always said it was always a bigger oyster than your average oyster, which is true. I've seen it on my own bottom where they grow really big. And, you know, they say kings and queens and all that, you know, chose these.
The Sanfords work two forms of aquaculture. They raise oysters in protective cages, where it can be time-consuming and tedious. But Sanford prefers what is known as spat on shell, where old shells are fertilized and left in the open waters, where regeneration is quick and less time-consuming.
You can see my oyster shell that they set to is right here. That's the shell. The oysters that set in July are here. And on this one shell, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 oysters on one shell. Since July, they've gotten this big, and this is basically a 3-inch oyster here. Now, I'll let these go until next winter, about this time, and then I'll start harvesting these.
Sanford begins the process when an oyster is about 2 millimeters in size and sells it when it reaches 3 inches. A single oyster takes 1 year to reach maturity. A female oyster can produce 100 million eggs. So if the environment is right, oyster beds and reefs can form quickly, creating a water-cleansing environment that's good for the river.
They're filter feeders, and they say they filter 50 to 55 gallons of water, I believe, a day. They're taking out all the bad things that are in the river and basically cleansing it. I mean, you can look at the water, the clarity of the water, to me, seems like it's so much better, you know, than what it used to be. And I've been out here for years.
Overfishing and pollution nearly wiped out the Lynnhaven River of all of its oysters. But thanks to conservation efforts of Lynnhaven River Now and strict federal guidelines, the water that flows in the Lynnhaven is much cleaner and safe for oyster farming. These filter feeding bivalves are crucial to the overall health of the river.
I mean, it's definitely getting better. I mean, we've got more and more areas of bottom that we can actually work now that are no longer condemned by the health department. They're saying they're clean, and they are.
Sanford's biggest worry are uninformed poachers.
Well, they need to understand I'm trying to make a living, is what it comes down to. And of course, this costs me money to do this. This is not a cheap venture at all. I mean, there's cost in seed, equipment, boat, time, my time. You know, I have to put a value on that.
And while Sanford will gladly share his catch, he's already doing his part to help save this precious and delicate natural resource.
Well, basically, I mean, what it comes down to, again, I'm filtering. I'm helping the water system, you know, and I think people don't realize what benefits this is.
It all starts with the water. It has to be clean and safe. And from the efforts of Mark Sanford and other oystermen, along with Lynnhaven River Now, the water in the Lynnhaven is cleaner than it's been in years, and they're doing a great job keeping it clean. If you want to get some oysters from Sanford, You can do it. Just call him at 263-7599. He also sells his oysters through the farmers market in Virginia Beach. They are top-notch, wonderful, and great oysters. He's doing a great job to keep our water clean.
You know, they're local and fresh if you get them from him, that's for sure.
Yes, yeah, yes, they are.
All right, we're joined now by Sherry Weniger, an esthetician from Plastic Surgery Center of Hampton Roads, the only board-certified plastic surgeons to offer new non-surgical treatments, Ulthera and liposonics. Sherry, welcome to the Hampton Roads Show.
Thank you.
Before we talk about some of the benefits of the non-surgical treatments, explain what Ulthera and liposonics does.
Well, Ulthera and liposonics are two different non-invasive treatments, one for the face, the Ulthera, and liposonics is for that little stubborn bit of fat on the abdomen that people want to get rid of. So we use ultrasound technology to, on the face, gently heat tissue, which will then lift and tighten loose skin. On the abdomen, what it does is it permanently destroys that fat tissue. So as a result, as you naturally process that fat out of your system, you're left with a thinner, smoother waistline.
And who could be a candidate for these types of treatments?
Well, for the facial treatments, the ideal candidate is in between the ages of 30 and 50, but really it's that person that's noticing less firmness in their skin, right? Noticing those first signs of sagging and laxity.
We have some photos here if you want to explain what we're looking at.
So what we're looking at is right along the jawline, right? We're starting to see that little dip in the skin, right? That little bit of sagging. They're not a surgical candidate at this point, right? But they want to see some tightness. They want to see that jawline standing out again, right? For the liposonics, it's for that person at their ideal weight, right? They're looking for something that will cause a little bit, get rid of that little muffin top that they've worked so hard to get rid of and it just won't go away.
What's the expected downtime recovery process?
Well, that's the beautiful thing about these treatments. They're non-invasive, so there is no downtime, right? You go in, your treatments normally range anywhere between 30 minutes to an hour, depending upon the site of skin that we're treating, and then you're able to go home.
Really?
Right.
Oh, interesting. When can a patient start to see results? Because that's the thing. Obviously, they're coming in for that. They want to know what the time frame is like for that.
We tell our patients, with the Ulthera, typically some patients will see results immediately. Right? That's not normal, but some patients will see that. We tell patients that it's expected to see their optimal results within 3 months.
Okay.
Right? If you use good UV protection, good skincare, those results can last up to 2 years. With liposonics, that fat is permanently removed from the body. That can last you, if you keep your good diet and your good exercise habits, that can last you forever.
You're good to go. And lastly, talk about pricing that's associated with this procedure.
Treatments will range anywhere between $1,500 to $5,000, and that's all dependent upon the area or the amount of skin that's being treated.
Okay, that's interesting. Ulthera and liposonics, non-surgical treatments.
Non-surgical.
Sherry, thank you so much. If you want more information, the Plastic Surgery Center of Hampton Roads, you can always visit their website, www.pschr.com, or just give them a call, 873-3500. Sherry, thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, still to come on the Hampton Roads Show. We're going to take a quick break and then be back with the folks from Dillard's at Patrick Henry Mall about some great new beauty products to help you put your best face forward.
All right, we're talking pain and the buzz this morning. A Stanford study of over 160,000 patients. They asked them, who reports more pain, men or women? Who reports feeling intense pain?
All right, so we asked you before we give the big reveal, which we'll do in this very buzz segment. We did ask, what do you think the result is going to be? Jana says, I think men do, because I usually hear more complaining about common ailments from them. No offense, guys, but as women are the ones that have babies, I suppose we're built to endure pain. Marcella says, of course, women, we give birth, and she says it doesn't get any more intense than that. Funny how everybody brings it back to the
childbirth
issue.
Which is only natural. Okay, so who reports more pain? Is it men or women? Well, it says right here in the study done by Stanford that it is women who report feeling more pain.
All right, don't worry, ladies. I'm already prepared for this. I think it speaks more to the communicative nature of women, that we're better communicators.
That is so true. Men don't talk about it as much, so maybe we don't complain as much because women are vocal.
Yes, I think that's what I'm saying. I think. All right, go watch Man Cold just for fun, though. It's so fun, and we've got it on our Facebook page. We were also asking about unhealthy or toxic relationships, and I wonder if this is a whole nother study. More women are chiming in on this. You know what I mean? Maybe women are more likely to hang in a friendship that's kind of not what it used to be or doesn't make them feel good, where
Right.
guys would just be like, see you, bro.
Yep.
Louisa said, I had an unhealthy friend, took a while to realize it. She's now my ex-friend. Lisa says, I had a toxic friendship for many years. Needless to say, we had a friendship divorce. Alice says, thank heaven for caller ID. She said she had a friend who only called when things weren't going well, brought on by her own negativity, so I simply avoided her, and she finally stopped calling and moved on to poison somebody else.
Oh, man.
Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
you know, women do express their feelings and do talk more than men, I think.
I think women's friendships are probably can be much more complicated, I think, than
can be.
men's relationships. You guys are kind of like, get along or you don't get
We
along.
move on.
You do.
We move on to the next painful event in our life and don't complain about it.
Unless it's like that big stingray sting you were talking about.
It
That
was
sounded pretty
painful, man.
I'm going to give it to you.
Anybody who's been stung by a stingray, you know what I'm talking about. It's
And I would like to
painful.
hear from you in the buzz.
Very few people have been stung by a stingray and lived to tell
But
about
my
it.
mom did. That's really weird that you have that in common with my
And
mom.
was it painful for her?
Yes.
I bet she complained more than me.
Scary and she's pretty tough. She's pretty tough, but it's not about tough. It's about who talks more. All right, we should probably move on.
Whatever.
Ariane's got a couple of lovely ladies.
Yes, all right. Well, everyone, of course, wants to put their best face forward, and you can do just that with some exciting new products we're about to tell you about. We have Mary Buffard, Cosmetic Manager, and Erica Berrien, Ladies Department Manager from Dillard's at Patrick Henry Mall to tell us more about this. Ladies, welcome to the Hampton Roads Show.
Thank you.
Let's start with you, Mary. Talk about this Clarisonic brush. It's kind of the hot new thing for you guys.
It is. We've been sponsoring it for over a year now, and it's just gotten better and better and better. The great thing about it is that every time someone comes into our store, when we set them down, this is the first thing we use on them. This oscillates, the brush oscillates 300 times per second.
Wow.
So its movement is pretty incredible.
Okay.
It's non-abrasive to the skin, so you're not pressing on the skin. It removes 6 times more makeup from
Really?
the skin, and it removes 2 times more oils, dirt, and dead skin cells. It makes your serums, your moisturizers penetrate into the skin a lot better too. So you do notice a difference quite quickly when you start to use it. Also, I wanted to point out that we do have the darker one for men. We have it in all different colors.
Okay.
But men have a thing about using a pink brush
Right.
or
Well,
a
Chris
powder
doesn't.
blue or
Chris generally goes for the pink. It's
and then so that's the
Okay.
that's the Mia.
Okay.
And then we have a classic, which is a little bit. This is a nice one to travel with. We have a larger one that is better for the home. It sits in a cradle. Does the same job, has more speeds to it. And then we go into the face and body.
okay.
And this is the body brush, so it's as you can see, it's a much bigger brush.
Right.
But what it does is it recognizes this brush when you put it on the system, and it's on a 1-minute timer for your face.
Okay, so
And
that's set all the time that you need
Yeah,
to do,
it's
okay.
20, 20, 10, 10 for the
Okay.
face, and then you're
That
done.
doesn't take no time at all.
Right.
Okay.
So it's really quick, and they're you cannot break these.
okay.
I've dropped them plenty of times, and they do not break.
Well, that's
Trust
good to
me.
know. That's good to know.
And so have all my staff.
What does
you
something
know.
like this run? If somebody was
They
interested
run
in
from
purchasing it?
$119 to $225.
Okay.
And there's a 2-year warranty on them.
And they last fairly, for
I've had
fairly
mine
long.
for well over 2 years, and I've never
Wow.
had a problem with it.
Okay. and-
The body brush is recognized, and it will last for 3 minutes for you to do the body also.
Awesome. You said that's the demonstration the ladies flock to. Also, we want to talk to you, Erica, about the My Time Women's Fashion Show. Tell us a little bit about that. That's coming up.
Yes, that's going to be held this weekend at the Coliseum. And we're going to be featuring fashions from the women's and juniors department
Okay.
at Dillard's. And it's going to be representing different organizations. The different models will be representing, for example, the Cure and the DVT blood clot disease, the Balance Center for Women. So different organizations will be represented there, and a lot of spring fashions as well.
I know. Can you believe it? We're talking about spring fashions coming up.
Yes.
I mean, you look great here today.
thank
Is this something
you.
to look forward to? You know, it's spring fashion, the colors and popping and all that stuff.
Yes, color is very popular this season. And we do have some new spring items already in at Dillard's. So definitely come out and enjoy the show.
How many years have you guys done this? I know the My Time Women show. Is this
the first
This
time.
will be our,
Okay.
yeah, our actual first time participating.
So we want people to come out to it. It's going to be this Saturday.
Yes.
We're going to have all the information on our website. And, of course, if you come into the Dillard's department, you can always test out this Clarisonic. Or you guys kind of always have this on display if women want to come
Always,
and
it's
try
at
it out?
every cosmetic counter.
Yes.
Okay. And that's interesting. You can take the makeup off, and when it's off, you cleanse your face.
And it feels
to put back
incredible.
on. You
I had
tried-
it done just yesterday.
Okay, I'm about to plug these up and start working on that. Awesome. Thank you, ladies, so much.
Thank
Of course,
you.
Dillard's at
Thank
Patrick
you.
Henry Mall. You can give them a call, 930-0291. We're going to have all of this information on our website, thehamptonroadshow.com. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, on the Hampton Roadshow Entertainment Express.
We're talking about today's Oscar nominations. Let's go now to our executive producer, Stephanie Cook, in the Buzz Center with her predictions.
Hi, Cookie.
Hello! It's so exciting. This is one of my favorite days. Next to the Super Bowl and the actual Oscar awards, nominations is very exciting for me.
Cool.
I've been to 3 Oscars, and it never gets old to me. Actually, I've
Tell
been
them
to...
you met Kevin Spacey.
I
Get
met
it
Kevin
out, girls.
Spacey.
Get it out.
He's my favorite actor
Get it all
ever.
out.
I absolutely love him. I saw Halle Berry's dress before the world did because I was on the carpet with her. Anyway, enough about me. The Best Picture nominees, the big ones, what I loved is that I did really well. I'm so excited for myself. My picks, I had all but 1 in my locks. I had 8 that I thought were definite locks. 1 didn't make it. And then 1 that I had on the bubble did get in, and 1 that I didn't even have in the running made it in. So here are our best pictures. The Descendants, The Artist, Midnight in Paris, War Horse, Hugo, The Help, Moneyball, and Tree of Life. Tree of Life was my bubble, and because it won the Palme d'Or at Cannes, so we thought it might get in there. That was why I had it on the bubble. It didn't get a lot of love at the Globes, but it did get the Palme d'Or, so I thought it might get in, so it did. And then the one that I didn't even have coming on is Extremely Loud and Incredibly Close, and I haven't gone to see that yet. That's the Tom Hanks and Sandra Bullock 9/11 movie, so I can't wait to see that now that we know that it's in. The one I got wrong was Ides of March. I thought it was going to be a lock. Maybe they feel like they gave Clooney enough with actor. Okay, so let's talk about actress. Best actress, I got all 5. I'm so excited about that. Glenn Close for Albert Nobbs, Meryl Streep for Iron Lady, Viola Davis for The Help, Rooney Mara for The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, and Michelle Williams for Marilyn, which is amazing. I also want to make sure we talk about supporting actress. Let me get to that one because I have... supporting actress is Octavia Spencer for The Help, which we knew. Bernice Bejo for The Artist. She's fantastic. Jessica Chastain in The Help. Janet McTeer, Albert Nobbs, and Melissa McCarthy for Bridesmaids. I had Bridesmaids on the bubble for Best Picture because I thought it might get in there. I was like, I'm just going to believe for a moment that it's going to get something, and I'm so happy for her. I absolutely love Melissa McCarthy. She's fantastic. Let's look at Best Supporting Actor. The nominees are Kenneth Branagh for My Week with Marilyn, which was a surprise. Jonah Hill for Moneyball. He was amazing. Nick Nolte in Warrior. Christopher Plummer for Beginners. He won the Globe. And Max von Sydow for Extremely Loud and Incredibly Close. Another nomination. Yeah, I mean, it's very exciting to see. I can't wait to see this movie. First of all, it didn't even open in our area until this past weekend. So we didn't really have any idea, what we're going to do. I'm out of time. I'll put everything on the web, so be looking for it. But very exciting, and the Oscar Awards are February 26th, and I'll be tweeting live during it, just like we did for the Globes, which is so much fun. 84th, so Sunday, February 26th.
That's Best Picture right now.
Best Picture right now, I'm going to go with The Descendants.
Okay.
Really? Okay. Yep. And one thing quick about The Descendants is Alexander Payne is the director for that. He won screenplay, best screenplay for Sideways, and was nominated for director, and that was a fantastic
Sideways
movie.
is good.
And so I think it's his time.
I haven't seen that one. Here's an idea. We can just go live, the Hampton Roadshow live from the Oscars. We can just all
it's a good idea. Let's go to Hollywood.
I can talk from there back to you
Well,
guys
I
here.
was saying
all of us.
Oh, really?
Take the show on the road.
I don't know about all that.
We're a team. There's no I in team. Just throwing it out.
I like it. So send us on the way. All right, let's take a look at the pop quiz. And so pop quiz for today, commonly 3 letters. The Marlins, a place to learn more, and chartered in 1961. Fury?
I don't know.
Fear of the fish.
Sorry, I thought
Fear of the
you
fish?
Fear of the fish.
Yeah, fear of
No,
the
I
fish.
know. I'm thinking Florida Marlins, but I'm having a hard time.
Local.
It's a high school.
It's sort of on the
High
line.
school.
It's on the line of Virginia Beach and Norfolk. It's very
Yeah.
hard to figure that out.
Is it
Anybody
Norfolk
know
Academy?
VWC are the three letters.
Virginia Wesleyan
And it
College?
just
Virginia
went
Wesleyan
past, but
College.
yeah, Virginia Wesleyan College.
Okay.
The answer.
I'm
VWC.
not sure if it's in Virginia Beach or Norfolk. It's like on the line.
Yeah, I think part of the campus is kind of on both, and I just got an answer in my ear, but I didn't catch it. But yeah, it crosses the line, so it's a little bit
Interesting.
both. Yeah.
So somewhere on campus you can jump back and forth. I'm in Virginia Beach.
That's how Missouri, Kansas is.
Yeah.
I'm in Missouri, Kansas.
And I used to teach there recently, just in the last couple of years.
Really?
I taught weather
You.
lab there, so yeah, that's my
a
local
little
con.
hidden fact. Look
professor.
at that. Professor Wheeler.
Well,
All
that's
right, all right.
All right, we'll talk more about Professor Wheel and everything Hampton Roads here in just a minute. We'll be right back.
That's right.
I don't.
Oh, look at those
Oh,
shoes.
look at those shoes. We have to thank our studio audience again for coming from the Up Center. We'll put all the information about how you can step up for the many ways that the Up Center helps in our community. And if you just want to decorate a shoe, you can do that too to show
nice.
your support.
Hey, want to thank Sherry Weniger from the Plastic Surgery Center of Hampton Roads. We'll have that information on our website. And then Mary Buffard and Erica Berrien talk about the My Time Women Show. It's going to be this Saturday, so we want you to come out and support them and that Claire.
Come back to me real quick.
Quick, Stephanie, what you got?
I totally forgot the actors. Brad Pitt, Demian Bashir, George Clooney, Dujardine. Oh my God, I can't believe it. I'll see you tomorrow.
We're going to Hollywood.
See ya.